Hi, my name is Merrilee. Today I'd like to talk about why I do what I do. I'm very involved in pro-life activities, and many people ask me, why do you do that? And how can you do that? And so I thought it was important to answer those questions. So today I'm going to talk about why I do pro-life work. The number one reason why I do pro-life work is that 73 million babies are killed through elective abortion every year. That is 200,000 babies a day. That is a staggering number to even think about. I remember when I was a teenager and they were trying to get abortion legalized, and they kept saying, oh, it's just going to be safe, legal, and rare. 73 million is not rare. 200,000 a day is not rare. So that's a big reason why I do what I do. I began about 30 years ago. I was living in Southern California, and I saw a building that said Pregnancy Choice. And so one day I stopped by, and I thought it was an abortion place. And so I was going in all ready to engage and realized that it was a pregnancy resource center where they worked very diligently to help women choose life and to support them. And I thought, this is terrific. And I said to them, look, I'm really busy. I have 4 little boys right now, but I like to crochet. Would it be helpful if I crocheted baby blankets? And they said yes. And so I began crocheting. And 30 years later, I'm still crocheting, and I still give baby blankets to the mamas who choose life. But that's how I started. Now, to answer the why is an experience that I had over 30 years ago. I was pregnant, and I was 15 weeks along and had felt the baby move. And then the baby died, and I miscarried that baby. And that, of course, was a very sad, sad time. But what I also remember about that experience was that an acquaintance of mine was also 15 weeks along, and she chose to abort her baby. And I can remember feeling so sad. I thought I would have adopted that baby. I would have cared and loved for that, loved that baby. And the reality of abortion, the killing of a baby, really hit my heart and has never left. Now, what am I doing? Well, I am the Director of Development for Pro-Life Utah. Love them, so great. They do an amazing work supporting women and helping them choose life, and they're terrific. I also am the Director of Development for Latter-day Saints for Life. We're about 2 years old, and we have made our work to promote the sanctity of life and to encourage members of our organization in 50 states and 11 countries to get involved and do things with pro-life activities in their states and countries. I also created the Abortion Free Utah Coalition many years ago and invited Planned Parenthood to leave the state of Utah, and that is still an active coalition. And all those groups I work with try to help support women in choosing life. But I have to say, when I first started this work more intently, it almost did me in. Night after night, I would think to myself, 8 more babies died in the state of Utah, and I couldn't save them. And it almost killed me. And then finally, after a few months, the Lord whispered into me and said, Merrilee, I will take care of those babies. You go help support the mamas. And I have. And I realized in the beginning that I've had a change of heart since the beginning. In the beginning, I thought, if we can only help these mothers love their babies, then that will be it. They will choose life for their babies. But I realized that wasn't really the issue that was going on. The real issue was that these women were desperate, that they were facing circumstances that were unexpected and overwhelming. And oftentimes they had a lot of things going on in their lives that made it very, very difficult. And all they knew was, go to Planned Parenthood, they'll kill your baby. And so oftentimes they were going in just, ignorant of other options that they might have. And I've learned that this work needs to be done a little bit differently. First of all, we need to offer support to the women. Pro-Life Utah offers financial support, baby supplies for an entire year, mentors being assigned to them, all kinds of an array of support. And that's the game changer. When the women are offered this support, 92% change their minds and choose life for their babies. That's an incredible statistic. And that shows me that these mothers do love their babies, and that when given the proper support, that they will choose life for their babies. The second thing I think is important is to educate, to make this real. So many people just, they don't even want to think about it. And they don't want to know about it. And they don't even want to talk about it. But I think it's important that we educate. First of all, we need to humanize the baby. Planned Parenthood spends a whole lot of effort dehumanizing that baby. They call it a clump of cells, and they act like it's not human. I would say, is it a dog? Is it a cat? You tell me. And they try to dehumanize it. So I think one of the most important things that we do is to humanize the baby, and offering those free ultrasounds really does the trick in helping with that. Secondly, we need to let them know that they have options, that there is support out there. And I think that we need to encourage people to get involved in providing that support as well. And I think the third thing that Planned Parenthood really doesn't want to talk about, or any pro-abortionists, they don't like to talk about, is the mental and emotional and spiritual and physical toll that abortion takes on women. I know several women who have had abortions, and I have seen the burden of pain and hurt and regret and grief that they carry. Most of them carry it their entire lives. Planned Parenthood just says, go ahead, we'll kill the baby. They don't use those terms. And, you'll be on with your life and nothing will change. And that is false. That is false. These women are absolutely impacted forever by that choice. And so I think we really need to educate everyone out there. And third, I think it's very important that we stay true to our values. I value human life. I believe that our brothers and sisters in spirit are trying to come and to gain an earthly body, and that they are coming to progress in their eternal progression, and that this is a very important thing to them. I believe that babies have a right to live. We talk about rights. The baby has a right to live. And I believe that Heavenly Father loves his children. He loves the mothers and the fathers, and he loves those babies. Those are his children. And that it is very important that we support those babies in coming to this earth, and that we protect their right to live. I hear so many people say, I'm pro-life. It's not enough to just say you're pro-life. People might say, well, I always vote pro-life. And I say, great, but it's not enough. Each of us needs to step forward and get involved. And there's lots of things that we can do. You can crochet. You can donate. Even $20 gets a gift card that we can offer to a woman to, encourage her to come have an ultrasound. We can participate in supporting the women in the women's support programs that are out there. We can attend a baby shower. We can, testify in, or even just send emails and texts in support of pro-life legislation. And we can just show up. If that's all you do is say, I will show up, that is critically important. Bottom line, why do I do what I do? People ask, and I always give the same answer. I want to be able to look at my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and say, I knew that the worst evil in the entire history of mankind was happening, and I actually did something about it. And that is why I do what I do, and I will never stop.